Welcome back to Aledius Sports Talk. I'm your host, Enrique Aledius. So, we're going to get into another beautiful Sunday of NFL football. I think we could be in actually for some big upsets this weekend. I don't know. I just feel like looking at the schedule, Lions are favorites for the first time in I think it was 24 straight times they were considered the underdogs until now. So that can be something to look out for. Baker and the Panthers are underdogs heading into their game against the Giants, who came off a huge win against the Titans. The Vikings are also underdogs against the Eagles, which, I don't know, a little surprising to me since the Vikings just beat the Packers and the Eagles just escaped losing to the Lions. No offense, Lion fans. But hey, that's football. So, that's what you love about this league, and there's a lot of parity in the league, so it's one of those any given Sunday type of situations there. Quick recap on my thoughts from the Thursday night football game. If you watched my video on week 1 preview, you will know that I mentioned the game with Herbert and Carr on the Raiders. It would come down to making one or two extra plays that would keep the drive going. And in this game, we definitely saw that, right? I think we saw that goal line pick 6 by the Chiefs basically put the Chargers away from that point on. Now, look, the Chargers did have the lead. They did a really good job and early on in the game, kind of quieting the crowd, quieting the momentum of the Chiefs. But I feel like the Chargers just couldn't capitalize on those couple key plays here and there to really put the Chiefs away late in that game or towards the end of that game, especially in the second half. I think it was there's 2 straight Chargers 3 and outs that kind of just deflated them. You kind of sense that. So it was kind of tough for them, but also bigger news that night, aside from just the loss, was Herbert getting tackled and getting hurt. It's being reported now, I think, that he has a fracture to his rib cartilage. He's considered day-to-day. It was pretty bad. I feel like there was that one play where he was just 1 or 2 yards away from the first down marker, and he just threw the ball away. And I think that was such a big sign to everyone. Even though, he can't see the yellow line that we all see on TV. There was something up with him. Even the announcer said it. But and then of course, right, the play after that, he just misses one to DeAndre Carter, just right down the seam in the middle. But he's a tough dude, man. And I hope he can come back sooner than later. So we'll see how that goes for the Chargers. So moving on to my favorite Sunday games to watch. I have a couple games here I'll just talk about. We'll start off with the Commanders at the Lions. Again, like we talked about earlier, Lions are favorites here. First time in 24 straight games, they are now favorites. I feel like even though the Lions are listed as favorites, I think, sorry, I have my mic right there. I think if they win, it's almost like an upset to the Commanders. They just got Carson Wentz. 24 straight games. The Lions were underdogs, but we'll see how it goes. DeAndre Swift is listed as questionable at the time of me recording this with his ankle issue, but I hope he does end up playing. Big weapon for the Lions there. Carson Wentz and the Commanders last week were able to pull out a win against the Jaguars, but I don't know. I'm not sold yet on this being a completely new and improved Carson yet. There were still shades of plays that he made that were from last year there. He would just shovel the ball forward and force the play instead of maybe just throwing it away or taking the sack. But I don't know. I think on this game, I don't know. I'm going to take a chance here. I'm going to roll with Dan Campbell and the Lions. My pick's going to be Lions money line. Moving on to the Bucs against the Saints. In the week 1 preview, I did mention how I'm a big Brady fan. So again, probably biased on this one. Last game, the Bucs rolled with Fournette heavily on the run game. 21 carries for 127 yards. The Falcons were able to run Cordell Patterson for 120 yards and Mariota rushed for 72 yards against the Saints defense. So the defense for the Saints didn't really stop the rush too well, and the Bucs have a great rushing game in Fournette, so look for that to be a factor. I think the Saints are going to have to improve upon that if they want to stop them. I think the Bucs also maybe use Julio Jones a little bit more in this game too. Brady targeted Julio Jones 5 times, Mike Evans 7 times. Since there is news of Mike Evans having some calf issues, which I don't think is going to affect him as much. I don't think it was talked about that it's going to be the biggest hindrance, I guess, to his game. Still something to note, though. I think Julio is maybe going to be used more in the passing game. I think not having Chris Godwin will be tough for Brady. That's, not having him as an option when they need a bit of that mid-range distance catch. He's always been clutch in the receiver pool that Brady has to get that type of yardage. I think what to watch out though for in terms of concern for the Bucs side is like how well they manage the depth of roster they have. You have certain key guys now dealing with nagging injuries. It's early in the season. So sometimes, having a reliance on these like second team guys, it's tough, and there's gonna be some like growing pains and all that stuff. I mean, you see it with Rodgers and the Packers, but look, if there's anyone you want under center to handle these cases, it's got to be Tom Brady, right? It's got to be the GOAT, and I'm pretty sure he can handle it. On the Saints side, though, Winston's questionable, but I think he'll be playing. I'm more so concerned about Alvin Kamara on the Saints since he's still questionable, and that would be a big blow to the Saints if he doesn't play in the game. Landry put up 114 yards last game. Michael Thomas didn't look too bad either. Coming off last year, I don't think he didn't play at all. And, he was able to look pretty good out there. I'm interested to see how the Bucs defense goes up against the Saints, where it's a different look than what they saw with the Cowboys. Saints did allow 4 sacks last game against the Falcons, right? So I'm expecting Devin White to continue to put some pressure on there. My pick here, though, is definitely it's going to be the Bucs. It's going to be -2.5. I think they can get it done here. Next up on my favorite games of Sunday to look for and to watch for is going to be the Patriots against the Steelers. I like this game. I mean, look, growing up watching Brady and Roethlisberger go against each other head to head every year, it's kind of like a new era is now starting with Mac Jones and Trubisky or Pickett down the line. I mean, after week 1, I like how the Steelers looked more than the Patriots. I mean, of course, not having TJ Watt now drastically changes the look of the Steelers defense, and the Pats could look to take advantage with not having to worry about both Cam Hayward and TJ Watt on the defense there for them. On the Pats side, Trent Brown on the O-line, he is questionable. If he is unable to play, could hurt Mac Jones in terms of O-line protection. I do feel like he needs to get off now to a good start. Try to get back into a rhythm now to start the season. Preseason, I don't know if it really went that well for him, but another thing to note is how well the Steelers defense did play against the Bengals. I mean, those 5 interceptions, those were... I don't think it's going to happen again. I don't think it's going to be that much, especially on Burrow's case and now with Mac Jones. I think they're going. Bill Belichick's going to know, and he's going to let Mac Jones know, like, hey, these guys are like, you can't be throwing balls into triple coverage, right? Like he did in the preseason, but he's got to avoid that and watch out for the really hungry Steelers defensive backfield. But it's one of those things where you got to keep that in check. In terms of the coaching side, Bill Belichick against Mike Tomlin. I mean, they're probably my top 5 favorite coaches in the league right now. Just a high level of respect for both of them. I mean, seeing them now and it's going to be interesting to see how they'll adapt, where I think this game will be more of a defensive matchup and with the new looks for both teams. But I'm a little surprised, though, to find that the Steelers are 2.5-point underdogs in this one. I mean, actually, it's probably because Najee Harris has some injuries too, or maybe issues with injuries. I don't know if he's out. I'd have to double check. But as of right now, he was dealing with that Liz Frank injury, and I think he agitated a little bit in last game. But my pick here is going to be the Steelers with an alternate spread. I'm going to give it a +3.5 with the Steelers. So I think they can stay within a field goal of the Patriots. So Steelers +3.5 is my pick. Next game that I have my eye on will be the Packers versus Bears. So it would be easy to look at this game and think, oh, well, Packers are going to put this one right away and they're going to come back and they're going to, roll over them. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's going to be that easy of a game for Rodgers and the Packers. I think they are going to win. I think Packers are going to take this one, but I think the rookie receivers still having to get tightened up, and injuries to the Packers O-line, has that, effect too to Rodgers and how he's going to have to play the game. I feel confident, though, that he's definitely going to be able to bounce back. He's going to make some adjustments. I believe Lazard will be ready for the game after practicing this week. If you're a Packers fan, you're hoping that Watson can have a bounce back game and see some production from vets like Cobb and Aaron Jones, Sammy Watkins. I mean, also, preseason and training camp standout Romeo Doubs is another one to look out for. People are kind of waiting for him to make that impact. I know it's only week 2, but, there's a lot of good things said about him during the preseason and training camp, so look for him to make an impact there. Now, the Bears, on the other hand, coming off a pretty big win against the Niners. I know it was a crazy game, but it does feel like a culture change with the Browns team here. Like, you saw Justin Fields go out there, lead the team, that comeback win. I mean, they were actually down for a good part of that game too. So there was a good amount of, resiliency there. It'll be interesting to see how the Bears handle the Packers defense too, right? Like that. Like, I don't think that that whole play where Justin Jefferson was completely wide open, that whole situation is going to happen again. I think they're going to make some adjustments and tighten up in the backfield. But if it does, if there's little holes here and there, I think in the Bears and Niners game, like Pettis was wide open in one of those plays. And so that's something I think the Bears will take note of, any holes in the Packers secondary. And if it happens again, I mean, they're going to look to capitalize on any chance they can get. But with that being said, like I said a while ago, my pick is going to be Packers. Going to go with an alternate spread, -3.5. So Packers -3.5. Last, for one of my favorite picks or favorite games to watch for tonight, it's going to be one of the Monday Night Football games, Titans against the Bills. I mean, I like the Bills in this one, honestly. No hesitation here. I know the Titans have that potential to pull off an upset and have Derrick Henry. I don't know, but the way Josh Allen was throwing the ball downfield, how the Bills dominated the Rams, I don't see them stopping, honestly. I just don't. I also think Tannehill is going to get pressured much more than he was with the Giants. I mean, no offense to the Giants, but like, you're playing against Von Miller now, and playing against Von Miller is different than the pass rushers that the Giants had. And I feel like maybe there could be some interceptions with Tannehill if he gets pressured enough in the pocket. While the Titans, they do have Derrick Henry. Last game, he was stopped from just like running all over the field, but I expect him to become a stronger factor in the offense for the Titans this time. If for some reason there's an upset here and the Titans take down the Bills, I'm cool with going down on the ship with the Bills. I just don't see them tripping up this early in the season. They have too many weapons. They're such a close-knit group of guys. I think they're going to take care of business. I feel pretty confident. I think Stephon Diggs is going to get the leg up on the Titans secondary. I mean, you saw him blast through Jalen Ramsey and the Rams secondary, and if he's not open, I mean, they've got Gabe Davis, who actually I believe when I'm making this video, he's questionable at this time, but they also got Dawson Knox to move the ball down the field a little bit. I'm not going to go as far as the -10 spread that the books have right now listed, but I'll take, again, an alternate spread of -3.5 for the Bills. Maybe on a betting wise situation, better move could be to parlay the spread or the money line with a total if you're looking for better odds. But I actually do have a same game parlay for Monday Night Football for this game. Mine's going to be Josh Allen over 254.5 passing yards, Tannehill under 244.5 passing yards, Tannehill 1 interception, Stephon Diggs over 64.5 receiving yards, Derrick Henry anytime touchdown. Now I'm just going to go through the quick picks for the rest of the games on my end. Jets versus Browns. I got the Browns -6.5. Panthers versus Giants. I got the Panthers money line. I'm going to give Baker one more shot, see how he does. Colts, Jaguars, I'm going to take the Colts -3. I know they have injuries, but I'll take the Colts and Matty Ice revenge game, although it's more of a revenge game for the Colts. Dolphins, Ravens, give me the Ravens -3.5. Falcons, Rams, give me the Rams -3.5 alternate spread. Seahawks, Niners, give me the Seahawks. I'll go, Seahawks +9.5. Bengals, Cowboys, I'll take the Bengals money line. Texans, Broncos, I'll ride with the Broncos, but I'll go alternate spread -3.5. Cardinals, Raiders, I'll take the Raiders money line. Vikings, Eagles, I'll take the Vikings money line, and that should be it. So those are my picks. Again, please be responsible. Don't bet every one of my bets. Have fun, do your own research, and enjoy NFL Sunday and NFL Monday night, twofer on that Monday night. Those are my picks. Again, please be responsible. Don't take every single bet that I make. Have fun, do your own research, and most of all, enjoy it. Enjoy the NFL season is back. Have a great Sunday and Monday Night Football, a twofer on a Monday. So hope you guys have a good one there. This has been another episode of Aledius Sports Talk. I've been your host, Enrique Aledius.